Welcome again, everyone. 19.1, technical cleanliness in the factory. Interesting and more important topic. Our expert, Csaba Suda, will discuss about the latest changes because the new version is just out. And we are just starting to make the new trainings. And yeah, Csaba is here with us to make a small resume and overview about the changes. Csaba, stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adam, and good afternoon, everybody. So let's talk about the VDA 19.1, the technical cleanliness, because it was related for what we call the skilled assistant. More specifically, normally is the laboratory work, and the reason why we have in that's coffee break, because the third revision, it was released this year, end of March, so it's quite fresh. And now in the print factory on the new standard, the red version, and will very soon available for the market as well. And basically, we already have the passing the course of the trainer course for that. So the training material already is released end of March. And first, what is the subject of technical cleanliness? Because in the VDA we have two standards, and it's very often is sometimes is mixing. So what kind of standard is for what, and which is my company is needed. So which is latestly upgraded. This is the 19.1, and to be answered the simple question: how can be sure that the cleaned parts are clean enough, and how we measure the technical cleanliness. So typically, this is the laboratory study of how we can make the extraction, the filtering, and after the analysis part. And if you are required to do in the production as well, is the 19.2, where we can have the question simply: how can the cleaned parts be protected against the recontamination during further processing until their completion? So normally this is the subject of the two standards. And today we will speak about the 19.1, which is the skilled assistant. Why it is changed? Because the first one is released almost 20 years ago. And at that time, the automotive industry is moving from the very mechanical, is more the electrical, and also for the miniaturization. And when we are doing that curve as well, it is introducing the technical cleanliness requirement, especially if you are supplying to the ABS system some engine part like diesel injection unit, turbocharger, or even the clutch. And now the new and the biggest part, which is booming the technical cleanliness, is the electronic industry. More and more, especially when releasing almost all car maker company the electric cars, at coming new product which is required technical cleanliness, like the ECU, the engine control unit, the cameras, the voltage, and the battery itself as well. So that is more and more rigorous technical cleanliness requirement. So this is the one factor. The other factor is the reliability of the car, because when you are doing for the brand new car, of course, you should have some aspect of the technical cleanliness. Normally, it's a bigger particle. But many of the part, you should have what we call the wear and tear effect during when you are using your car. There is generate, especially in the engines, in the moving parts, some very small particle, and that can cause a problem. And in the past, let's say 10, 15 years, a lot of new technologies arise, which is due to the miniaturization required to make free from those particles to ensure the product quality requirement you can fulfill. So that is the indication of the VDA 19.1. And it is established quality characteristic for the most automotive components and the system. And the technical cleanliness by the cleanliness laboratory is also increased significantly, and the large number of laboratories at the manufacturers and the service providers are now requiring various clarification and adjustment to trends in order to ensure the comparability of the test. That means a lot of laboratories have around the world. But due to when the automotive industry goes to the global scale, many times the laboratory is not in a plant. And that means for that result, it should be comparable. And the new standard is starting to harmonizing those requirements to be same at all the places in the globe and in the supply chain as well. And that is the new version, the new edition, is described a fully standardized test procedure from the really beginning, so from the packaging and the delivery of the test samples to the evaluation in accordance with the standard, and also give the freedom for you if you have to decide, if you have to establish customer-related testing. What we call is the framework conditions, so for the free case-specific test. If you have some special part which is you cannot be applied for the standard procedure. And the stages of the inspection, so normally that's cleanliness, is typically consist of 3 stages. The first is always the extraction, the particle removal. Now we have to make sure the particles are separated from the part using the liquid cleaning, using air, or using by adhesive stamps. So that means we have to have the ways, the standard ways, so how we can remove the particle from the part. Next is, after the removal, we have to capture the particle, so that we call the particle separation. So it means the particle which you are removed, we have to place on the sample carrier, analysis filter, or in the particle trap. Because that should be on the next step to go this particle which you are captured to do the particle analysis. And the analysis filter or the particle trap is analyzed using the SEM, so the standard electron microscope, or the X-ray for quantity, size, and the material. And the new standard, because those machines as well is drastically changed in the past 10 years. So in case of the resolution, in case of the consistency and so on, that means the new standard is adopted also for the new equipment as well, and to try to use some kind of comparable settings regarding grayscale, regarding red tones, and so on. So on, a lot of settings to be said, okay, when I'm separated the particles, it should be fine for the material, the type of material, the type of size, and the type of quantity of each material. And also there is a little revision in the 4 main factors for the extraction and the laboratory checking. So first is to have some guidance regarding the chemistry and the medium. So what kind of surfaces with what kind of chemistry you can use it. The next is the mechanism. That means how did you removing? So it's introduced some new methodology, like previously we have only the high pressure rinsing, but now we have low pressure rinsing, we have ultrasonic cleaning, so it's a new part. We have the normal air blow, or we have now the air vacuuming, and also the adhesive tape test as well. And the last 2 factors, the temperature and the time, that is the limitation. So that was the result of what we call the declining test. Is a specific procedure how we can defining precisely the extraction parameters. So that is now in a new framework, and this is also put into the VDA 19.1. And if you know the previous standard on the right side, so you see on the extraction method, the liquid and the dry extraction, you see the filtration and you see the process monitoring and the analysis. But in the left side, there is put on the square, so there is a two testing method which is added into the new standard. So first, what we call the comparable test. So it means if you have a standard part and a standard parameter, so everybody have to using like that one to use for the extraction, the deposition, and the analysis, which is putting on the 5 micrometer PAT or PA filter. You have some gravimetric analysis if you want to, and also the light optical or the SEM analysis. So it's a kind of standard which can everybody using. But if you have some customizable or different question you should have making, because you have some specific parts, some specific surface or whatever, so you can use it, what we call is a free parameter test. So testing with different extraction parameter, different analysis filter, and adopted analysis method as well. But in that case, you will need it also to have customer agreement. And that is also put in the standard to say, okay, based on it, you can choose it. Then after agreed for your customer. So that is also helping the customer supplier consultation and agreement as well. And so lastly, so how should I take the summary? So it's contain a significant innovation and adjustment to meet the current and the future requirement for the automotive industry. So it's added the new damage mechanism, the wear and tear effect, and also introduction of the specific cleanliness requirement for a very small particles and the complex system representing the decisive process. Because of now, what we see on the last 10 years is the part is getting smaller and smaller, and that's why even the previous like 300 micrometer particle can cause a problem with the turbocharger. Now is the less than 50 micron particle can cause problem in the electronic circuit as well. So that means we have to be adjusting all the facilities and equipment to capture these very small particles. And also the expansion of the test method to include the dry extraction procedures and the adaptation of the analysis criteria to the new requirement of the modern automotive technology emphasize the importance of the technical cleanliness as a quality characteristic. So it's more and more in the electronic field. Is now the car maker previously is a mechanical company, and now more and more, especially when you have the electric car product, is needed to introduce as a requirement of your technical cleanliness because it's directly related for your quality result and the reliability of your product. And basically the new 19.1 is providing this solid basis to ensuring the technical cleanliness in the changing automotive industry and contributes to the improving the reliability and the safety of the modern vehicles. So that is the summary of the new things. So new damage mechanism, new extraction procedure, and new analysis criteria for the standard test and the free testing as well. And the question is that for you is what kind of certification I'm needed. So if you need a new certification, we have the training program from the beginning. Is that for the ID 973 is the skilled assistant, technical assistant training. So if you don't have the previous version, so it's last 2 days. And of course, if you have the previous version, you should have the upgrade training, which is far shorter. because just focusing for the new things, so the skilled technical assistant training upgrade, it's a half-day training, and you should get your new certification for the latest 19.1, the third edition. So that's it for me. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me.
Thank you very much, Csaba. Of course, as you just mentioned, do not hesitate to put in the chat windows if you have some exact questions. Now or later, we can answer to you. Some of our upcoming trainings, PSCR, attention, this is a mandatory training for everyone. If you don't have at your company PSCR responsible, please come to these trainings, or if you just have one, also it's worth to come, because normally you should have around 2 because of the replacement. So you are more than welcome on the PSCR trainings. Then another EITF mentioned training is the field failure analysis. So we are expecting you on the 12th and 13th of May. We have some candidates already, so please come. Global MMOGLE will be held on the 14th and 15th of May. And the last 2 trainings are related to the automotive core tools. As you can see, we have the 5 days core tool trainings, and we have the 2-day core tool trainings. This last one is mainly for those auditors who know already the foundations of the different core tools, and it is necessary if you would like to have a certified 6.3 auditor certificate. So this is it. Let's see the next slide, please, because the next coffee break will be around according to our planning, the 22nd of May. As you might know, the ISO 9001, which is the basis of our industry, will be upgraded, or is being upgraded, and it will be discussed on this next coffee break. If I have just seen that Serbian language for the VDA 19.1, Evelyn, I'm not sure that if you was the one who chatted with about this topic not very long time ago. So the quick answer is not yet planned, because receiving these trainings is a quite costly issue. However, if we see that there is a big need in Serbian language, this 19.1, we can think about it. But as of today, we are starting only for the English version. I hope that I could answer it. Csaba, I see your head is you are nodding, so I think that you can confirm it.
Correct.
So right now we are starting with the English one. If we see the big need, or if we see that there is a lot of persons, a lot of participants coming from this Adriatic zone, then eventually we can think about it. Okay, then to sve from our side. Thank you very much. If you have questions later, do not hesitate to send us. And on behalf of the whole QFD group, we wish you a pleasant weekend. Thank you, everyone.